Hello. Okay, can everybody hear me now? How about now? Okay, all right. So my name is Matt, and I shoot archery competitively, and I have a chance to represent America in London. I leave in about 3 days on Wednesday. Is that 3 days? I can't count. Thank you. So the plan is to represent everybody in Fairfield as best as I know how, and of course in Iowa and the whole United States. I'm going to do a little demonstration. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my stuff. So I'm going to shoot this one first. And it has these weird legs coming off it. Otherwise, this is a standard bow that you can go to any archery surplus store and purchase. The stabilizers here are designed that it's kind of like a tightrope. So you ever know there was a guy, 2 months ago that he walked across the Niagara Falls, and he had that really long pole because that kept his balance. So basically, that's what these do. So while I'm at full draw, those keep my bow steady. Hello, sir. How are you? Anyway, those keep my bow steady while I'm shooting. The second thing that I do is, this is the only modification to my shooting, and it is a belt that goes underneath my shoulders. And once I hook, this is what I call a release aid. I hook this on the bow, and when I'm ready, it goes under that pink. Everybody see that pink trigger? That goes underneath my. Hello, I know everybody here. Almost everybody. I hook this underneath my right jaw. When I'm ready to shoot, I move my jaw and it shoots the bow. Now, I usually like to shoot long distances. I currently hold the record for the longest accurate shot, which is 230 yards. So that's from here to maybe O'Reilly's or a little bit further, probably. But we can't do that today, so I'm just going to be shooting here just so you guys can kind of see how I shoot. So we'll start off just shooting 1 or 2 arrows and making sure I can hit the target. You guys can clap, cheer, whatever you like to do. As I'm doing this, if you have any questions, you may ask me questions as well. Before I start, I'll tell you that this bow right here, when I pull back, it's 75 pounds. And just to show you that there's no tricks up my sleeve, is there any archer in the crowd? Anybody who's an archer that can pull 75 pounds? Can you do it? No, I bet you can do it. Jake can do it. All right, let's, anybody else in archery here? No one? You guys are going to have to see me afterwards. All right, do you think you can pull 75 pounds, sir? That's okay, that's okay. I just want you to draw it just to show everybody that it's regular. Is that okay? Corey? Okay, so this is just, all right. So there's no arrow, so he's still going to aim that way. You break it, you buy it. So it's just a regular bow, just like what everybody. There you go. Thank you, sir. Everybody give him a hand. That was awesome. That's right. Thank you. I'll let him tell a story about hunting in a little bit. You want to tell a story? So I'll tell you real quick. So I like to go out in the woods and spend awesome quality time with my friends. And I'm sitting out in the woods, and Jake here is filming me while I'm hunting, and we're sitting there and we see a deer come out, and I've been sitting there 3 hours probably, and it was wet and my chair had sunk into the ground. So when I go to shoot, I actually hit the blind, and I've seen this guy right here crawl underneath that chair right there in about 2 seconds. It was, anyway. All right, so you guys want to see me shoot a couple times? All right. Do not try this at home. I am a trained professional. I don't want to get a call because someone tried to shoot with their feet and it didn't go as well as planned. All right. So what's your name in the front, in the red shirt? What does it say? Born to something motorcycles. Born to ride motorcycles. All right, Jackson. Jackson, do you want to pick on the yellow target here? There's pool balls. You want to pick a color?
Go pick a color.
Not yet.
Want Dad to go with
Not
you?
yet. Okay. You pick a. You want to pick a color? What color? See those? Any one of these colors. What's your favorite color? What color is that? Yellow? Red? This one? All right. The number 4. Okay.
I think in London you have 20 seconds, right?
I'll explain it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This is where everybody gets quiet. Everybody's quiet. Ah, a little low, but I got it. Alright. A little more. Alright, so can we get this up where it just like it's just
Yeah.
does this turn at all?
You grab this thing. Yeah, go ahead. No, I should have had you do that. Yeah, you
Just
grab it.
turn. I just want this up, but not the whole stand up. There you go.
Now turn that thing. I'd let him do it.
Perfect. All right, so that is my dad. Say hello to my dad. Hello. Hello. He has raised me to enjoy the outdoors and enjoy living without arms. He has taught me to, no matter what I come across, just keep going and working at it until I get it. So, thanks to Dad for that. My mom is in the back hiding somewhere. There she is. That's my mom. Her name is Jean. I do have more family. Randy, this is my wife's parents. This is my Randy, and then Carolyn, who's in the back. They're all rocking the Team Stutzman shirts. Anyway, so they will be going to London with me to cheer me on, which is a good thing. Oh, and Shade. Yes, I have a sister named Shade, which is she's hiding, I think. Anyway, so let's go with something smaller, I guess. Yeah, you guys want to see me shoot a balloon? All right. What about, should we go with the big balloon first, or we should go like right to the small balloons? Let's go big balloons. All right, let's try the big balloons first. While he's setting that up, I'm going to tell you guys a story about a local person in town. And we all know who he is, but it was an experience that I had with a cop. Since I have no arms, I wasn't speeding too bad. I was I might have had like a tail light out or something. Anyway, he pulls me over and I hear him say, "Sir, please put your hands where I can see them." I wish he was here right now because I would point him out. He's not here, but it went over well. I said, "I don't have any hands," and just dead silence. And I thought, oh, this is not good, you know. So by that time, the spotlight comes on, and you can't see anything. And it turned out once I saw the cop and he realized who it was, he just went back to his car and left me alone. I think he was a little embarrassed. But anyway, all right, we'll try the red balloon. Anybody have any questions while I'm doing this?
Yeah, do your toes get sore?
They do. So my toes are, the question was, do my toes get sore? So these are my hands. I use them every day. I brush my teeth. I eat with them, which means I wash them a lot. I do get calluses on them, so like right now they're just dirty and calloused, and that's just from shooting and stuff like that. Sometimes I have to take a day or so off because my big toe will hurt a little bit, but other than that, it's all good.
It left me.
It flew away.
They want me to shoot a moving balloon.
Hurry up, Leon, he's gonna shoot. I have all the faith in him.
All right, so let's try real quick. Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, how many other archers are there with no arms?
So far, I've done research, and there is a lady on the Olympic Committee, and her job is to classify people for disabilities, things like that. As of right now, this second, I am the only one in the world classified to shoot a bow and arrow without any arms that we have found. So. I plan on changing that, so if anybody without arms here that would like to learn, I will gladly show them. While I'm in London, this is the bow that I will be using, because you got to represent America. Red, white, and blue, and it has all 50 stars. Anyway, this bow will be shot somewhere around 60,000, 70,000 times a year. In London, though, we shoot 72 arrows at 70 meters. So if you look at the target, the blue one behind me, with the big, has the yellow, or the 10, 9, 8, 7, that is the actual standard size of the target that I'll be shooting in London, and I'll be shooting it at 77 yards. I got to shoot it 72 times, and the last time I shot that target, I missed the world record by 1 point. So you got to hit 77 yards is probably, I guess, yeah, probably the second pull, from the second pull out there to the target here. So you have to do, and they don't cancel it for nothing. So rain, well, there was one time I went to a tournament and I was in an inch of snow, in shorts, just like this. That's right. And it was 30 degrees out, and I ended up fourth that tournament. But they just don't cancel it for nothing. So we're gonna try a smaller balloon.
But I mean, just like in general.
This arrow's a bad arrow.
He had to do it on his own, or he didn't do it. So that's just basically how he lived there. Because you don't know how yourself.
That's right. You don't know. You can't crawl. You know, we think we can. Yes, yes.
And he sure bounced.
Yeah.
Walked at about 18 or something like that. He set up, he taught him. The only thing we ever taught him to do is Gene taught him how to sit up.
So anybody have any questions for me? I know that there was, yes sir. Good eyes, yes. So this harness that holds this release on is from a hunter safety system. It's a belt that goes around your waist to keep you safe when you're in a tree. I didn't have any use for it, and I'll tell you that this release kind of evolved into what it is now, because I used to just put this little strap on my shoulder, and then I'd have to keep my shoulder straight like this, and if I would relax my shoulder muscles, this would slip off and the bow would shoot without me wanting it to. So I came up with this device, and it locks it onto the back of my shoulder, and it always stays there, and it doesn't move for me, and I can be real consistent that way. I know there was a, yes sir. Yeah, Jake, where you at? That's okay. So Jake, when I was out practicing, I can hit a 9-inch balloon at 230 yards. So yeah, this gentleman here saw me to do that. So a 9-inch balloon is probably like maybe just a little bit bigger than this.
Okay.
So. It sucks. So when I practice with pretty much wind like this, and I can usually just go out the first couple tries and do it. The day that I broke the record, it was 25 mile an hour, gusting to 28, according to the local news. I would aim 30 feet. It was blowing a crosswind, so if I'm facing O'Reilly's, it was blowing a crosswind. Was that east? That way is east? Yeah. So I actually aimed at, there was a tree that was 30 feet to the left, roughly, and I just aimed at that tree, and it curved it in, and it went in. I don't know. How high up? So most of the bows when I do that shooting and stuff, like a regular bow, my sights are above my arrow, like right today. On that particular shot, my sight was way down here below, and the arrow shot over my sight. So I don't know exactly how high it went, but it was, I mean, I was launching them out there. So I'm sorry, what? Yes, the arch and archery.
He didn't hit a balloon that day, but he hit the target.
Yeah, that day I just had to hit the target. But so I know there was a, yes.
How many years do you practice archery?
So the question is, how many years have I practiced? So it's kind of a trick question, because I know when I think I was 16, I got, my dad helped me get my first bow, and I did odd jobs around the house to pay for that bow, and I had it not that long, and it got stolen. And so 2.5 years ago, I picked up archery again, and that's when I decided I wanted to do what I set my mind to. And so the actual practice time competitively is only about 2.5 years. So, yes. I wear just regular shoes. Yeah, I just wash my feet a lot because I have to take them off all the time and they get dirty. I tried those shoes that have like the toes in them. Have you seen? They have like the new shoes, and they have a place for your toes, but those don't work for me very well. So.
So you have to do the archery with the bare feet, no special gloves or something?
No, just bare feet, and then when it gets really cold out, I just have to just suck it up and do it.
Do you usually use your right foot for doing everything, or do you alternate?
No, that's a great question. I use my right foot for everything. I can still put my right foot, believe it or not, behind my head. So still remain the flexibility in that leg. It's the strongest leg by far. I write with that. I brush my teeth with that leg. Eat, everything. So I'm right foot dominated.
You're dominated.
But it's weird. So I used to play basketball all the time at home, and I could throw with like my left shoulder and my right shoulder. So I think if I would have hands, I probably could have. I don't know. Not what's that word? Ambidextrous, but we won't know that. So, yes, sir.
So, if you're the only person in your class for the Olympics, do you get gold, silver, and bronze?
Yeah, that's a good question too. Actually, the division I'm in, because of my skill level, I'm in the open division. So everybody I'm shooting against has hands. So I'm shooting, and it's because my skill level is good enough to compete with those guys. So I would like to get gold, silver, bronze as well, but. My first day of competition starts on the 30th of this month, and London is what 6 or 7 hours, 6 hours ahead of us. So that will if they show it, it'll be like 3 o'clock in the morning here. So I think it's on. It'll be on the website as well. So. I was just asked how many people I'm going to be competing against, and I'll be competing against basically the top 3 in the entire world. So the top 3 from every country, which will probably be 200 or 300 people. So, and I've beaten them all before. So as long as I keep my head focused and I know what I'm doing, and I should be okay. So, yes, sir. This one right here is 75 pounds. But the target bow that I'm taking to London right here is only 60 because of the rules that they have over there. You have to meet certain guidelines, and one of them is you have to have 60 pounds. But I have a 32-inch draw length. So I know there was a gentleman that was going to. Yes, are you still gonna? If you want. Well, yeah, it's up to. All right. Okay.
Do you sight the same as
I do. Everything that I do is the same as somebody who has arms. The only difference is that I use my right foot instead of a right hand. In fact, in my right cheek, yes. But I sight exactly the same way. This is really cool. So Google, everybody knows what Google is, right? You can find anything on Google. And nowadays, do you know what you cannot find on Google? You cannot find how to teach a guy without arms how to shoot a bow. I've tried that. It doesn't show up. So I basically would have to watch people that had arms and I'd just try to simulate as much as they did with my arm or with my feet. So if I saw a guy shooting with his right hand, then I use my right foot and try to envision in my head that that was a hand holding the bow, and that's how I taught myself how to shoot. So I believe you're going to interview me. I did answer everything?
No.
Oh, okay.
We'll ask a few more questions.
Okay. All right.
Is that all right with you?
Yes. So we're just going to answer a few more questions, and then if you guys have any questions, I'll shoot a couple more times. There's a trick that I did a while back that I haven't done since, and it was shooting down a straw. So we might try to do that if we can get Dennis to find me a straw to shoot down. Also, after I'm done here, back there on the table, there's some pictures of me. They're called hero cards. If you like one, you may have one. You have a website on there that you can follow my progress. While I'm at London, I'll be on Twitter and Facebook talking about it. If you would like it signed, I can sign it too, but that's up to you if you would like that.
Well, I'm Steve Smith from KMCD Classic 96, and thanks to Hy-Vee for making this available. Matt, you mentioned that 2.5 years of practicing to get ready for the Olympics. That seems like a very short time to become a world-class archer. I mean, do you have any perspective on how long other people have been shooting?
Yes, I know the average person that has been shooting is usually about between 10 to 14 years. I feel like, a lot of people are gifted with things. So everybody's been watching the Olympics, right? And you guys saw Usain Bolt. He's the world's fastest man right now and ever set the world records and stuff. But if you look at him, he trained hard for what he did, but at the same time, he has a gift, and his gift is running. And I just feel like I'm blessed with the gift to shoot, and so that's why I excelled so fast.
Obviously, this consumes a huge amount of time. What do you do when you're not shooting?
I'm sleeping and thinking about shooting. No, I have. I try to spend as much time with my family as possible. We just have a new 9-week-old baby, so that takes up a lot of time. And the baby was born with hands, so that's a good thing too.
When you go to London, what is it you want to come out of the experience? Obviously a gold or a medal, but what other things do you want to come back with, other experiences?
I just want to. My main goal is, the gold medal and all that stuff is winning that stuff is great. But the ultimate goal here is, it's no longer about me anymore. It's about Fairfield. It's about you guys. It's about the family and people who said that I can do it. It's people who have encouraged me while I'm over there. And so if I can just enjoy the whole situation, represent, Fairfield and Iowa and United States as I know how, just so everybody's proud of me. That's more more important than, I guess, winning a medal.
I find it a bit amazing reading a little bit about you that even though you are a world-class athlete, you're going to the Olympics representing Fairfield, United States of America. You still have a bit of animosity here, or not animosity. You live anonymity, I guess. People don't know who you are locally.
Yeah, I'm not. It's okay that people don't know who I am locally, I guess. I try to keep it kind of low-key, but that's okay. I know that there's a couple businesses that put up congratulations signs, and hopefully that will spread a little bit about what I'm trying to do as far as just promoting archery in Fairfield in general.
How important is it for athletes like yourself to secure corporate sponsorship to go to the Olympics?
It's a huge deal. It helps with training. Basically what it does is it allows me to go out and train every day and travel to all the places I need to travel and still take care of my family at the same time. Without that, it would be hard because I'd still have to work a job and still be able to, get in training and that kind of stuff at the same time. So just the fact that they can help me do that, it's awesome. Archery's my job now.
Do you anticipate competing in 6 more years? Would you like to be able to compete in 6 years?
The plan is to make it to Rio in 2016, and then after that, go for another one in 2020.
Lofty goals. You mentioned earlier on the 23rd of September, that's a Sunday afternoon, you're going to try to break a world record here in Fairfield. 230 some yards now?
Right now the record is 230 yards, and if we can get Dennis on board and get everything here set up right and find a spot, I think I'd like to do 300 yards, which you guys are all invited to see if you would like to see.
Again, that'll be on a Sunday afternoon, and right now, tentatively, I guess that's going to be at the fairgrounds, possibly at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, check your papers, and hopefully we get all the details.
And the radio.
And the radio, yes. Yeah, don't forget the radio.
Any jitters? I mean, the clock's ticking. What are you thinking as you're getting closer and closer?
Well, it's fall, so I'm thinking that I should be out in the woods and enjoying myself with my family. And I don't have any jitters because I've already come. I've already looked at the whole possibility of how everything's going to go, and I'm already, even though I haven't been there, I'm already satisfied with how it's going to turn out. And
how have you been able to handle the national exposure? Because I know you've been on CNN and other network programs. What's that been like, knowing that you're from Southeast Iowa and you live in Fairfield and you're just an everyday guy who's got a gift?
It's at first it was kind of a little different, just because I was trying to figure out how I fit into all that. But it's really not like I do. Every day in life, people watch me do stuff, whether it's eat or drive my car, things like that. So just a little bit more publicity is something that I just got to deal with, and the more I just opened up to it, it got easier and easier.
It's an amazing story, and best of luck from
Thank
me
you.
and everybody here in the whole city of Fairfield, and we can't wait to see the results here in a few weeks.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to tell a story. Can I tell a story?
Sure.
All right. So one of my sponsors is BP, and if you guys want, you can go to any BP gas station in the United States if you're traveling. Go in there and ask for it. They have game cards that has a picture of me, and you have a chance to win $1 million. Just ask for the guy without arms, and you can get that card. Anyway, so I'm pumping my gas, so I stand on kind of one leg to pump my gas, that type of stuff. And there's a big picture on the gas pumps of me. And I'm pumping, and this old gentleman, he's really awesome. He looked at the picture, and he looked at me, and then he goes, "You guys have the same disability." And so I look at the poster, and I said, "Sure enough, we do." And then he goes, "I bet you guys would be good friends."
Did you let him in on the secret?
I didn't.
Do you see him?
No, not since. But you got to have fun in life. That's what it's all about.
How about a round of applause, please?
Thanks. So, Russ, I see you are here with Jan. So, would you like to say something? Nothing you'd like to say? So, Russ, he can raise his hand. We are related to him through Jan. Yes, okay. Well, he and there is another person here, Dickie. Where is he at? Aha. They were, what was it, 2 years ago, I got on this crazy kick that I wanted to be the best archer in the world. And at the time, I needed funding to get to Las Vegas, which is the largest indoor tournament in the world. And I approached these guys, and these guys helped kickstart my dream. So let's give them a round of applause for that. And they helped me get there, and I want to say thank you to them for getting me there, and thank you very much.
The thing that I think is strange, the guy that's running doesn't have any legs, and the guy that's shooting bow don't have any arms.
So between the two of us, we'll be perfect, right? Yeah. So one of my friends has one arm, and then another one of my friends has an arm. So we're all hanging out one time, and between the three of us, we still don't have a full set of arms. It's kind of wild, but anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this shot. I'm gonna try to shoot all 4 of those balloons out at once, and then if there's any questions, you may ask me any questions. And then also back at the table, there is pictures that you guys can have. If you guys want some hats, I got a couple hats for you kids if you like some hats. Yes.
I'm going to
How do I drive? That is a great question. So, my well, maybe, I don't know. So I use my right foot to steer. So like if this is the steering wheel, my bow is now my steering wheel. So this is the steering wheel, and I hold the steering wheel with my right foot, and then the gas is my left foot, and running the gas and the brake. But it's not modified. No, I don't have to have any modifications on my car. So.
Can I tell them a story on that one? Good.
Yes, my dad would like to. Take the whole thing down there.
Okay, we can. Not that I want to steal any show, but just to add to this kid. Proud of him. This lady's been asking me questions over there, so I thought, well, maybe I better put in there. But you asked him how he drives his car. It's probably been about a year ago, or maybe 2, I'm not sure, but we're headed for Cedar Rapids for something. This guy's driving. He's always been a safe driver. I've had kids with arms that I would rather drive with him. And that's, yeah, his brother, just big brother came in that taught him a little bit. That's Ben. But anyway, we were driving to Cedar Rapids, and his wife Leva, by the way. I'm sorry. Don't want to leave you out. We're driving to Cedar Rapids, and we're doing 80 miles an hour. Now, I'm kind of a little bit leery about this, but he looked over at me and he says, "Dad, are you okay?" I said, "Well, yeah, I'm okay. The only problem is he was texting, or not texting, but he was doing his phone at the same time, punching the number in." I said, "It'd be okay if you just stop punching this stupid number and drive. And I don't care if you get a ticket, but just drive." But he can do it. She asked me, how'd you teach this guy? We didn't. He did say it. If he couldn't do it on his own, he wasn't going to do it. I remember many times he would say, "Well, Dad, I want to climb the tree. Would you put me up there?" I said, "No. If you can't get into the tree, the first limb, can't figure out how to get to the first limb, you're not going to have me help you to the second limb, because then I'll have to come back and get you back down. Or he'll fall out of it." And his brother has arms, and he crawled up a tree, I don't know, is it probably twice as high as that, and all of a sudden I looked up and he was waving at me, and pretty soon he came down. And it wasn't quite as high, twice as that, but he had arms, and he just it was a fir tree, because we lived in Oregon at the time, and he just kind of rolled down the tree and hit the ground. And he was okay, and it was all right, but I figured if he didn't have arms, he's going to have to do it on his own. One thing we did and I thought was interesting, when he wanted to have a bow, and I said, "No, you can't get a bow, because it's a lot of money, and I'm not going to put it in," because I didn't know if he could shoot a bow. How did I know he's ever going to make it to here? Anyway, I said, "But if you go to this competition and you place, then you can win. I mean, I'll get you a bow." And so he went to the competition. I think he might have placed third. I met the kid in Ghana, Africa, and he said, "Well, I shot against your kid. And I think he beat me." I don't think he did. I think he only got third, and there's only 3 people in the event. But he did show me he could shoot a bow, and so we went out and got it, and we went hunting, and I could tell you the story, but he's missed his big buck. But that's beside it. I called it buck fever, and he said, "No, Dad." And he didn't have something like this. It was a kind of old timer. But how we started out with, and I thought this is kind of interesting, people might like it. We had this big old farmhouse up here by Ken Ross, and I sat on the porch, and he sat on the porch. And I said, and then I went out there and put a stake out there, and I tied a milk jug to this fishing pole, and I started it out here, and I would reel it as it came around the old pole, and then he would try to shoot that baby. And I knew after about 5 or just a couple of times that if you're playing cowboys and Indians, choose Indians he's on your side. Because this guy is just a good deadly shot, even as a young kid, and then he kind of dropped it when his bow got stolen, but then he picked it up on his own. The only thing that we ever taught him to do, and I will tell you that I think this is true, is his mother taught him how to sit up. Because when he first came to us, just a little tiny guy, all he did is roll, and that's how he got around. He would roll and look up and say, "Here I am." And so finally she said, he got to the place where we know he could sit up by himself, and we taught him to lay on his belly, and his mother taught him this. I don't know if she ever did that or not, but anyway, put him on his belly, and then we would bring up his feet around to the outside, and then he could just sit up. Very simple. You can try it when you get home and see how it goes. And then from there on, he kind of stood up on his own and kind of got a, because this kid was motivated from the day he came into the house. And he did play basketball. It was crazy, but he made his own, and you should have seen it, made his own little stand there for, and put the Hawkeye symbol on there and had a little tiny, he's a Hawkeye. We brought him up right. But anyway, and then he had a little tiny, we just had the little tiny goal there, and he had a little tiny ball, and he would play hours in the basement. We had a tall basement, probably about 9 or 10 feet tall. I'm not sure who the guy dug the basement, but it was not me. And he would go down and play, and we would play pig and play horse and do all those kinds of stuff. And very competitive ever since a little tiny guy. And he did try play 1 year in basketball. He was going to be an NBA star. And my wife looked at me and says, "Do you think we should tell him?" And I said, "No, let him figure it out on his own." And so he kind of figured out after a year of basketball or trying to play it on high school, and I thought, man, this is nuts. But, you know, he went out there and he ran with the rest of the guys and he did everything, but he kind of figured out that basketball probably wasn't going to be his forte. I'm glad he picked up the bow. But that's my son, Matt. You want this up there? Okay.
What he didn't tell you is that I played soccer and I got called for hands one time.
He was awfully quick with those little stubbies.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yo.
When you were little, did you ever have resentment for not having arms? And if you did, how did you get over that?
Easy answer to that one. As far as I remember, I didn't have any resentment. I think the only thing I really resented was when I tried to get my driver's license at 16. I couldn't, they wouldn't allow me in the driver's ed program, so I had to wait till I was 18. But other than that, I don't have any resentment towards anything in my life, not having hands. I feel like if I would have had hands, I wouldn't be here today doing what I'm doing, so. The wind quit. That makes the shot easier. All right, so the shot I promised, we're gonna shoot down a straw. You guys wanna see that real quick? This is the last shot of the day. Usually I light a candle, shoot the flame out, but it's a little windy today. I don't think the candles would have stayed lit. Now, here, let me see that straw real quick. So just to see if this is gonna work, will that arrow fit down there? It won't. We're gonna, we'll,
Use your target arrow?
I don't know where it's set in.
Oh, okay.
So let's see if that will. So that one won't fit. So let me try this arrow here. All right, so we'll try that. I'm gonna take a practice shot just to make sure these arrows are sighted in properly. Do not panic. So while he's setting that up real quick, put this up. There we go. So there we go. The straw's giving us a little bit of trouble, but that should work. So I'm going to take a practice shot. I'm not actually going to shoot the straw. I'm just going to make sure that the sights are just right on, and then I'll do the shot. Yeah, I will. I'm just making sure the sights are on. So basically what I'm doing is, since I'm using a new arrow that will fit down the straw, I got to just adjust my sight a little bit to make it more, so it shoots more in the middle, so I don't miss. Hey Ben, I'm going to have you move the straw for me. It's hard. Alright, one more time, guys. I won't leave you hanging. I practice usually 3 to 4 hours a day.
Hey, Matt, you split the script.
You already hit it, man. Split it all the way down.
Alright, so get it out and show it. I guess they said, look, it's split all the way down the middle. So I did hit it. Alright. It is split. I was going to say I thought I hit it, but I don't know. So a question real quick was, how much do I practice? When I first started, I practiced almost 8 hours a day. And now it's more about 2 to 3 hours a day, and then a couple hours of mental practice.
What kind of lotion do you use on your?
I don't use any because I did use lotion, and it made the calluses soft. And for people who use their hands a lot, when their calluses get soft, then you go out and work again, it just hurts. So I just leave them on there. And so qualifying. So qualifying, in order to make the team, they basically bring in the best all across the United States, and you have a 3-day tournament, and you have to win in order to go, because they only took 2 from the United States to go. So I had to be in the top 2, and I went there very focused, and I did very well. That's the day that I missed the world record by 1 point and ended up earning the top spot for United States. So. Is there any other questions?
How do you release the arrow? Do you use your cheek, or how do you?
Yeah, did you guys?
Or do you blow into it?
There's a pink trigger on my release right here that everybody can see, and it's underneath my right jaw, right here. So when I'm ready, I move my jaw, kind of like open my mouth a little bit, and it pulls the trigger and allows the bow to shoot. So. Yes, all my stuff, that was one thing that I really worked hard on, is I wanted to shoot the same thing that everybody else shoots. And so everything that you see, even the people with arms run stabilizers. Maybe they look different, but they still have stabilizers on their equipment just to stabilize their shot, but it's all the same. Even the release on this it's called a wrist strap. I could take it off, and I could put it on your wrist, and you could shoot my bow. So... All right, is that it? You have a question? Yeah? No? Okay. He wants to know. Yes, yes. This winter when I get back for a week, at least a week. Anyway, guys, thank you much. If you have any questions, you can come over to the table, and I will gladly talk to anybody who would like to talk to me. And you can follow me on Facebook. It's Inspirational Archer as my Facebook name, and I'll be tweeting and posting. And thank you guys very much for having me, and thank you for your support.